Ürümqi is the capital of the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region of the People's Republic of China in northwest China. Ürümqi was a major hub on the Silk Road during China's Tang dynasty, and developed its reputation as a leading cultural and commercial center during the Qing dynasty, with a built-up population of 2,988,715 as of 2010 census and 3.03 million in 7 urban and suburban districts. Ürümqi is the largest city in China's western interior. Since the 1990s, Ürümqi has developed economically and serves as a regional transport node, cultural and commercial center. History. Early period. Although Ürümqi is situated near the northern route of the Silk Road, the present city is a relatively young city. It was not called Ürümqi until the time of the Dzunga Khanate. An older settlement was located nearby, according to Chinese scholars. During the 22nd year of Emperor Taizong's reign in the Tang dynasty, AD 648, the Tang government set up the town of Luntai in the ancient town seat of Joowwww, 10 kilometers from the southern suburb of present-day Ürümqi in the Tang dynasty's protectorate general to pacify the west, which controlled Xinjiang. Ancient Luntai town was a seat of local government, and collected taxes from the caravans along the northern route of the Silk Road. After the Tang retreated from the western regions, the region came under the control of the Uyghurs of the Khaganate and Gaochang. Between the Tang until the Qing, there was little information about the Ürümqi area, and there appeared to be no permanent settlement here for some time. The Mongols referred to the wider area as Bishbalik, meaning 5 cities, referring to the 5 towns that surrounded the present-day Ürümqi area. Dzunga period. The Irats Dzunga tribes that formed the Dzunga Khanate were the last major power to control Ürümqi before the Manchus gained control of Xinjiang, and the language gave Ürümqi its modern-day name. In the Ming dynasty, there was a record of a place at Joowwww 5 kilometers to the west of present Ürümqi, which may have been the Dzunga town that was later destroyed during the Qing conquest. The Mongolians also used the area as herding ground in this period. Steppe peoples had used the location, the pass between the Bogd of the east and the Tian of the west, connecting the Dzunga basin to the north and the Turpan depression to the south. Ürümqi remained a small town, and less important than the Oasis and Silk Road trade center Turpan 200 kilometers to the southeast. Fighting for the control of Dzunga area led to the Koshuats leaving Ürümqi for King Huan Tibet in the 1620s and 1630s. The Uyghurs were introduced into the Ürümqi area in the 18th century by the Dzungas, who moved them from the West Tarim region to be Tranchais or farmers in Ürümqi. Qing rule in the 18th century. The king went to war against the Dzunga Khanate. Ürümqi was taken by the king in 1755, and the Dzungas of the region were eliminated in the Dzunga genocide. One writer, Wei Yuan, described the resulting desolation in what became northern Xinjiang as an empty plain for 1,000 li, with no trace of man. A fort was built, and the king then established garrisons of Manchuan Mongol bannermen and Han Chinese troops at Ürümqi. After 1759, state farms were also established in the vicinity of Ürümqi, where there was fertile, well-watered land and few people. The Manchus began to construct a walled city in 1763 to the south of the first fort, and it was completed in 1767. The Qianlong emperor had named the new settlement Dua, meaning to enlighten. In 1771, another city named Gongningchang was built to the northwest to house Manchu bannermen, and this would become the seat of government. The bannerman settlement to the west was commonly referred to as Mancheng. while Dua to the east became a Han Chinese town commonly called Hancheng. The Ürümqi of the early period was therefore a twin city, with Gongningchang the administrative center while Dua grew into Xinjiang's commercial and financial center. Chinese Hui Muslims from Gansu and Ürümqi, Han Chinese from all over China began to move into Dua. By 1762, more than 500 shops had already been opened by Chinese migrants to the area of modern-day Ürümqi. Those Qing literati who visited Dua were impressed by its cultural sophistication and similarity to eastern China. The writer Ji Shaoland compared Dua to Beijing, in that both had numerous wine shops which offered daily performances of Chinese music and dance. The origin of Hui and Ürümqi is often indicated by the names of the mosques. The Battle of Ürümqi took place in 1870 between the Turkic Muslim forces of Yaqub Beg against the Dungan Muslim forces of Tuoming. With the help of Zhu Gong's Han Chinese militia, Yaqub Beg's forces defeated the Dungans. Gongningchang was captured, its king administrator killed, and the city burned to the ground and abandoned. The king later regained control of Ürümqi. In 1884, the Guangxu Emperor established Xinjiang as a province, with Dua as its capital. Republican era. After the collapse of the Qing dynasty, Xinjiang was ruled from Ürümqi by a succession of warlords: Jang Zheng Shin, Jin Shurin, and Shang Shisai. Finally, Zhang Zhijong as governor of Xinjiang in 1942 to 1949. Of these, Jang and Zhang were considered capable rulers. During the Kumal Rebellion, the Battle of Ürümqi and the Battle of Ürümqi took place between the forces of Ma Zhongying's 36th Division and Jin Shurin and Sheng Shikai's provincial forces. At the second battle, Ma was assisted by the Han Chinese general Zhang Piyuan. People's Republic era. Following the founding of the People's Republic of China on 1 February 1954, the city's name was officially changed back to its Dzunga Uyghur name Ürümqi, meaning beautiful pasture in the Uyghur language of the Dzunga people. In the late 1970s, Deng Xiaoping relaxed China's tight control over Xinjiang, which led to a boom of Ürümqi from the development of oil and gas industry in Xinjiang. New, big mosques have been financially assisted in being built by the Chinese government in Ürümqi, while in southern Xinjiang, China implements strong rules regarding religion. In Ürümqi, China treats the Uyghurs and religion lax and permissively. The city suffered from a series of unrest. In May 1989, unrest in Ürümqi resulted in 150 injuries. In February 1997, bombings in Ürümqi following the Gulya incident resulted in 20 deaths and scores of injuries. July 2009, riots and subsequent unrest in the largest eruption of ethnic violence in China in decades. Major rioting broke out in July 2009 between ethnic Han Chinese and Uyghurs. The New York Times reporter covering the riot described the violence as clashes with riot police and Uyghurs rampaging through the city and killing Han civilians. Then, for at least 3 days, bands of Han vigilantes roamed Ürümqi, attacking and killing Uyghurs. Before the riot broke out, young Uyghurs had marched through the city to protest a case of judicial discrimination. According to official figures, most of the 197 killed in the riot were Han, a statement disputed by Uyghurs. Geography. The largest city in western China, Ürümqi has earned a place in the Guinness Book of Records as the most remote city from any sea in the world. It is about 2,500 kilometers from the nearest coastline, as Ürümqi is the closest major city to the Eurasian pole of inaccessibility. Although Karamay and Altai, both in Xinjiang, are closer, the city has an administrative area of 10,989 square kilometers and has an average average elevation of 800 meters. The location, 43.68111 degrees north, 87.33111 degrees east, 43.68111, 87.33111 in the southwestern suburbs of Ürümqi, was designated by local geography experts as the center point of Asia in 1992, and a monument to this effect was erected there in the 1990s. The site is a local tourist attraction. Water supply. Although surrounded by deserts, the Ürümqi area is naturally watered by a number of small rivers flowing from the snow-capped Tianshan Mountains, the main range of the Tianshan in south of the city, and Abogdashan east of the city. A network of small reservoirs and canals redistribute the water throughout the extensively irrigated area along the foothills of the mountain ranges. As the Ürümqi region's population and economy is growing, the water demand exceeds the natural supply. To alleviate water shortages, the Irtish-Ürümqi Canal was constructed in the first decade of the 21st century. The canal's main trunk terminates in the so-called Reservoir 500. In the far northeastern suburbs of the city, a new industrial area, called Gangquanba Industrial Park, or Industrial New City 500, was being developed in 2009, west of the reservoir, relying on it for water supply. For the reservoir area, water is further distributed over a network of canals throughout the lower Midong district. Climate. In Ürümqi, a semi-arid climate prevails, with very large differences between summer and winter. Warm summers, with a July daily average of 23.7 degrees Celsius, and very cold winters, with a January daily average of -12.6 degrees Celsius. The annual average temperature is 6.90 degrees Celsius. The city is semi-arid, with its summers slightly wetter than its winters, yet sunny weather is much more likely in the warmer months, and relative humidity is the lowest during summer, with monthly possible sunshine ranging from 30% in December to 70% in August and September. The city receives 2,523 hours of bright sunshine annually. Its annual precipitation is about 290 millimeters. Extremes since 1951 have ranged from -41.5 degrees Celsius on the 27th of February 1951 to 42.1 degrees Celsius on the 1st of August 1973. Air quality and pollution. According to the National Environmental Analysis released by Tsinghua University and the Asian Development Bank in January 2013, Ürümqi is among the top 10 cities in the world with the most air pollution. According to this report, 7 of these cities are in China, including Taiyuan, Beijing, Lanzhou, Chongqing, Jinan, and Shijiazhuang. Blacksmith Institute mentioned Ürümqi in 2007 world's worst polluted places caused by air pollution, along with Linfen and Lanzhou, all in China. In 2008, Toronto Star listed Ürümqi as one of the top 10 worst places to live in the world due to sulfurous pollution. Heavy haze is extremely common in winter, which frequently affects air traffic. Officials believe that severe winter air pollution in Ürümqi is mainly caused by energy-heavy industries and the outdated coal-firing winter heating system. According to a report by Department of Environmental Science and Engineering of Fudan University, the average 2 PM.5 and TSP concentrations in the winter of 2007 were 12 times higher than USA standard for 2 PM.5 and 3 times the national ambient air quality standard of China for TSP. The sulfur dioxide from industrial emissions mixed with the local anthropogenic aerosol with the transported soil dust from outside the city was the main sources of the high concentration of sulfate, one of the main factors causing the heavy air pollution over Ürümqi. Timing of sunrise. Because of its far western location to Beijing, the sun is 2 hours and 10 minutes behind China's Standard Time. During early January the sun does not rise until 9:45 a.m. and it sets between 6:45 p.m. and 7:10 p.m. In September and March the sun rises around 8 a.m. and sets around 7:45 p.m. However, in June the sun rises at about 6:25 a.m. and does not set until 9:45 p.m. Administrative divisions. Ürümqi currently comprises 8 county-level subdivisions, 7 districts and 1 county. Demographics. Ürümqi has been a multi-ethnic city from the time of the Qing conquest. In the early years, the Manchus lived in Gongning Chang, Han Chinese in Dua, and various other ethnic groups such as the Hui, Uyghurs and others in the suburban districts. A census of in 1787 showed that there were 114,348 Hui and Han in the prefectures of Shaanxi and Ürümqi. In Ürümqi city itself there were 39,000 people in the 1880s, and by the early 20th century, 50,000 people. Ürümqi in 1908 was said to have been inhabited by Uyghurs, Chinese, Manchus and a few Mongols, with the Uyghurs estimated to comprise a quarter of the population. In the People's Republic era, an active program to resettle Han population in Xinjiang was initiated. In 1960, there were 76,496 Uyghurs and 477,321 Han in Ürümqi. According to the 2000 census, Ürümqi had 2,081,834 inhabitants, with a population density of 174.53 inhabitants per square kilometer. Economy. Ürümqi is a major industrial center within Xinjiang. Ürümqi, together with Karamay and Korla, account for 64.5% of the total industrial output of Xinjiang. Ürümqi is also the largest consumer center in the region, recording 41.9 billion yen retail sales of consumer goods in 2008, an increase of 26% from 2007. The GDP per capita reached $6,222 in 2008. According to statistics, Ürümqi ranked 7th in 2008 by the disposable income for urban residents among cities in western China. Ürümqi has been a central developmental target for the China Western Development Project that the central government is pursuing. The Ürümqi Foreign Economic Relations and Trade Fair has been held annually since 1991 and has been upgraded into the first China-Eurasia Expo in 2011. Its purpose is to promote domestic and foreign markets. The 17th fair has attracted participants from the Ministry of Commerce and the China Council for Promotion of International Trade. Xinjiang Uyghur Group is the largest real estate enterprise and most powerful privately owned company in Xinjiang and is currently engaged in energy and automobile. China CITIC Bank Mansion, headquarters of Guanghui, located in one of the CBDs in North Xinhua Road, is the tallest building in Ürümqi and Xinjiang, with a height of 229 meters. It is also the tallest in northwestern China and Central Asia. Zhongshan Road has been one of the 10 most famous commercial streets in China since 2005. Zhongshan Road has always been the hub of consumer electronics in the city. with the largest computer, mobile phone and consumer electronics market in Xinjiang, including Baihuacan, Cyber Digital Plaza and Fountain Plaza. As the economic center in Xinjiang, Ürümqi has expanded its urban area since the 1990s. The CBDs in the city increased rapidly all around the major districts. Despite the old city areas being primarily in the south, the development in the north part began since the late 1980s. The completion of the new office tower for Ürümqi municipal government in 2003 at Nanhu Square in Nanhu Road marked a shift of the city center to the north. Lacking a subway, the city commenced the construction of viaducts for outer ring roads since 2003, which considerably facilitates transport. Joowwww Road and surrounding neighborhood is the commercial center for business, shopping and amusement. Joowwww Group, the namesake local enterprise, owns a major market share of retails. Maison Mode Ürümqi, opened since 2008, became one of the few notable department stores for luxury merchandise in the city. The Ürümqi Economic and Technological Development Zone, located in the northern Taotunhe district, has been a leading base for steel, machinery manufacturing, biochemistry and other industrial innovations. Tourism. Grand Bazaar, a bazaar on South Jifang Road. Hongshan is the symbol of Ürümqi, located in Hongshan Park, People's Park, south of Hongshan Park. Glacier number 1, origin of Ürümqi River, is the largest glacier near a major city in China. People's Square, Nanhu Square, Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region Museum, which was completely rebuilt in the early 2000s. Heavenly Lake Scenic Area, a popular park with some of China's most famous alpine scenery, a little more than 2 hours outside Ürümqi. Joowwww Hot Springs is located 5 kilometers northeast of Ürümqi. Xinjiang Silk Road Museum is located right next to the Grand Bazaar at No. 160 Shangli Road. It is located on the 4th and 5th floor of a very large European-style building which houses a shopping complex as well. Most of the exhibits have English names as well, and some of the guides speak some English. Ürümqi City Museum is located at South Nanhu Road 123. Ürümqi Tata Mosque is a luxuriously furbished mosque located on Jifang Road. The mosque is open to female and male visitors, unlike other mosques. However, permission must have been obtained prior to visiting the mosque. The monument at the geographical center of Asian continent, in Yongfeng Township, Ürümqi County, Xinjiang International Grand Bazaar in Ürümqi City Tianshan District, which is currently the country's largest bazaar. The architectural style of the Grand Bazaar, grand scale and very Islamic style. Bazaar inside the market, characteristics of ethnic minorities, commodity dazzling, rich and exquisite. International Grand Bazaar in Ürümqi. In most ethnic customs, visitors came to Ürümqi play welcome to see education and science. Ürümqi has many educational campuses including Xinjiang University, Xinjiang Normal University, Xinjiang Agricultural University, Xinjiang Medical University and many others. Universities: Xinjiang University, Xinjiang Normal University, Xinjiang Agricultural University, Xinjiang Arts Institute, Xinjiang University of Finance and Economics, Ürümqi Vocational University, Xinjiang Vocational and Technical Institute, Xinjiang Medical University. High schools: Ürümqi No. 1 High School, Bingchen No. 2 Middle School, Bay Senior High School of Ürümqi, No. 70 Senior High School of Ürümqi, No. 8 Senior High School of Ürümqi. Research institutes: Xinjiang Astronomical Observatory, the Xinjiang Technical Institute of Physics and Amp Chemistry, KAZ, Xinjiang Institute of Ecology and Geography, GAZ. Transportation. Air Ürümqi is served by the Ürümqi International Airport. It is a hub for China Southern Airlines. Ürümqi International Airport is the largest airport in Xinjiang. Rail. Ürümqi is Xinjiang's main rail hub with two primary railway stations: the long-standing Ürümqi South Railway Station and Ürümqi Railway Station opened in July 2016. The high-speed rail line connects both stations, running from Ürümqi to Lanzhou, which has been in operation since the end of 2014. The city is served by several conventional rail lines. Ürümqi is the western terminus of the Lanzhou-Xinjiang and Ürümqi-Dzungaria Railway, and the eastern terminus of the northern Xinjiang and the second Ürümqi-Jinghe Railway. The Beijing and Dalangshan lines form part of the Trans-Eurasian Continental Railway, which runs from Rotterdam through the Alator Pass on the Kazakhstan border to Ürümqi and on to Lanzhou and Liaoning. Road. China National Highway 216, China National Highway 312, China National Highway 314. Many roads to the north and west typically shut down by early October, remaining closed until the end of winter. Metro. The Ürümqi Metro is under construction with plans submitted for 7 lines totaling 211.9 kilometers in length with an estimated cost of 31.24 billion yuan. Since March 20, 2014, Line 1 has been under construction and is expected to open in 2019. The line will connect Ürümqi Joowwww Airport through downtown Ürümqi and end at the southern long-distance bus station with a total length of 26.5 kilometers and 21 stations. Bus Rapid Transit. The Ürümqi BRT bus service was launched in August 2011 after an investment of 930 million yuan in an effort to improve urban traffic. There are currently 4 routes operated: BRT1, BRT2, BRT3, and BRT5, mainly along the north to south downtown major roads. Media. The Xinjiang Networking Transmission Limited operates the Ürümqi People's Broadcasting Station and the Xinjiang People Broadcasting Station, broadcasting in the Mandarin, Uyghur, Kazakh, Mongolian, Russian and the Kyrgyz languages. The Xinjiang Television Station, located in Ürümqi, is the major TV broadcasting station in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. The local television station for Ürümqi City is Ürümqi Television Station. Sport. Xinjiang Flying Tigers. Guanghui Flying Tigers is a major basketball team that is part of the Chinese Basketball Association, based in Ürümqi, Xinjiang. Its corporate sponsor is Xinjiang Guanghui Group. Xinjiang Tianjin Leopard FC is a local football team in the China League One. China started a bandy development program by organizing educational days in Ürümqi in June 2009. In 2015, an indoor speed skating arena was opened. Twin towns and sister cities. Ürümqi is twinned with 1 Almaty as a state-level city of Kazakhstan.